Alrighty, welcome to Bad TV. My name is Brittany. I'm one half of Bad TV. So as you can tell by the title, today I'm going to talk about my pregnancy journey. This is my third child. I'm currently 38 weeks, so I'm on the countdown now. But I'm going to just talk about my whole pregnancy journey and how it's been so far and the similarities between the last two. So yeah, let's get started. Before we get started, I just wanted to make a disclaimer that everyone's pregnancy is different. No one's pregnancy is the same. Even for one person, you may have multiple pregnancies, multiple children, and all of your pregnancies could be different. So just to put that out there. I'm gonna start off by talking about my first trimester. So my first trimester, it was similar to my first and second pregnancy with my first two kids. I was very sick. I had morning sickness like the first 4 to 5 months of my pregnancy, which was the same as the other two. Sometimes they say that the morning sickness only lasts the first trimester, but my morning sickness did go into the second trimester, and then it tapered off. Sporadically, I would kind of get a little sick, or feel a little nauseous every once in a while, but it was primarily in the first trimester. But for some reason, this pregnancy, it came back like more, not as bad as like the initial. It didn't come back as bad as it did in the first trimester, but it did come back where I was like, what the heck is going on? Like, why am I feeling sick again? But it eventually went away. Like, I mean, still occasionally in the morning I'll feel like a little nauseous, but I don't really vomit, actually vomit anymore or whatever. But for me, it's not just morning sickness. I don't know who coined the term morning sickness, but it's not morning sickness. It's all day sickness. It's from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep, you're feeling sick. Like, it feels like a 24/7 hangover to me. That's my experience. That was also the experience that my sister had as well. But some things to combat the morning sickness, you can of course get medication from your doctor. I did use Zofran for all of my pregnancies actually, but I mean, you don't have to. It does help. You can also try home remedies. For my first pregnancy, I remember, was that my first one? Yeah, for the first one, I remember trying ginger candies, like dry ginger candies. Those things were so disgusting to me. I feel like they made me more nauseous just trying to eat them. Oh my goodness, I'm not a big ginger fan, so that was just a no-go for me. But ginger is supposed to help. So I knew this time, I don't think I tried it. I did not try it my second one, but this time I tried making my own homemade ginger ale, because if you do the research, the ginger ale that they sell like in the stores has no ginger in it actually. So like, you know how your parents and grandparents tell you to drink ginger ale when you're sick, and that's just like how a lot of people grew up, like when you're sick, drink ginger ale. Because the ginger is supposed to help you feel better if you're like feeling nauseous and stuff, but it doesn't have any real ginger in it to actually give you that effect. So I made my own, which was very simple. You just like boiled the ginger and made like this like ginger syrup, and then you just add it to some type of carbonated drink. So I added it to sparkling water, which also helps. So it could be the carbonation that also helps in the ginger ale. Like, if you can still drink ginger ale like from the store, but it could be the carbonation that also helps. But I just wanted to make my own. I did feel like it helped. I only did it once, and then like you save it in the refrigerator for however long. But I don't know. During my pregnancy, I just feel very, very tired, so everything takes a lot out of me, and I just didn't even try it again. But it tasted really good though. And then you can make it as sweet as you want it, and then you can also do different flavors of use different flavors of sparkling water if you want. And also for me, I did just drink sparkling water because the carbonation did help settle my stomach. Like, whenever I was feeling nauseous, the carbonation would help. Some other things that help is drinking cold water, like throughout my entire pregnancy. I like drinking cold, like ice cold water. Like it has to be refrigerated or have ice in it. I can't just drink room temperature water anymore, which is typically my go-to. Like when I'm not pregnant, I prefer room temperature water, not ice cold water. But whenever I'm pregnant, I've noticed it's the ice cold water. The ice cold water helps settle your stomach for some reason too. It just helps you feel a little better, or help me feel a little better. So that's what I would drink. That's what I still drink, actually. I prefer ice cold water. For those like who've never been pregnant before and are watching this to, you know, get some perspective, you know, sometimes doing too much physical activity, if you're not, especially if you're not used to it, can cause you to have some pain. Like once you get to a certain point in your pregnancy, you can like kind of feel the baby balling up in your uterus, and like it'll kind of like feel hard, and it can be very uncomfortable sometimes. But that's just like a sign, like, okay, just take it easy. That's, at least that's how I see it. Like once you stop doing whatever it is, like if you do too much walking, or you're doing too much stuff around the house, or if you're exercising and you're just doing too much exercise, like your baby will let you know when you need to stop. But that's normal. It's like nothing to like, oh, tell your, I mean, you can still tell your doctor, but it's nothing to be like rushed to the hospital or anything like that. Unless you're experiencing some, because I'm not speaking as a medical professional. I'm just speaking based off of my experience. But if you feel like you need to go to the doctor, then do it. Or if you feel like you need to contact your doctor, then do it. But it's usually nothing serious. Some people also experience heartburn. I don't think I've ever experienced heartburn, really. I know they say if your baby has a lot of hair, then you'll experience heartburn. But my kids both had a lot of hair when they were born, and I never experienced any heartburn, so I don't know. Okay, so let's talk about clothes. So I never bought maternity clothes. I will buy things that make me feel more comfortable, but I never actually bought maternity clothes specifically. During this pregnancy so far, I've been wearing sweatpants. Like the sweatpants you get from Walmart, that's been my uniform. I've been wearing that pretty much all the time. That and a t-shirt. That's the only thing I feel comfortable in. So wear what makes you feel comfortable. I mean, of course, early on I was able to wear different things, but for me, anything that's tight around my stomach, my belly, like in my waist, like it just feels so uncomfortable. It makes my stomach hurt. It makes me feel like my stomach is upset, and I'm constantly like pulling that, you know, like pulling the waistband like away from my belly, and then like sitting back, and it kind of like helps me feel better. But so to avoid that, I just don't even wear anything tight, especially as you get bigger, it can get even more uncomfortable. Yeah, so I just wear comfortable clothes all the time. And you're pregnant, so like who's gonna say anything? I mean, if you want to buy maternity clothes, you can, of course, but I did try to buy some clothes off of Amazon, some shirts, some maternity shirts, but for some reason they like canceled my order, and I just never ordered them again. But so I stick to the sweatpants and t-shirts for the most part. I don't know. I mean, try it for yourself, whatever you're to, but anything around my waistband. That's what I never used one of those belly bands, because I didn't know if it will have that same effect. I did order one. I don't know if it came, but I did order one when I ordered my breast pump, but I don't even know if it came, honestly, but at this point it doesn't even matter. But it does help to hold your belly up, so it probably would help. It's just that I don't like anything like form-fitting on my stomach. It just feels so uncomfortable to me. Like even like sitting straight up is uncomfortable for me. I have to like lean back.
Now lean back.
Usually, like, and even like in my car, like I have my seat leaning back, because just sitting straight up like at a 90-degree angle is so uncomfortable for me. So I can't even do that. So now we're gonna talk about the later on in your pregnancy, once you once you start like feeling the baby move and everything, it can get really uncomfortable. Like I feel like I'm short of breath all the time. I can barely breathe, like when I'm walking, especially going up and down the stairs. Once I get to the top of the stairs, I gotta take a break. Take a break at the landing. Like I'm slow rolling it up the stairs. And then it's just like doing anything, you just feel so tired. Like you're constantly tired. You just want to sleep all the time. Like it's like your body is constantly working, producing this child, or cooking this child. Your body is constantly working, so it's like so draining. Like I feel it and I look it sometimes, most times. But I mean, it's worth it in the end. But it is a lot. It's a lot on your body. And I think too, like once, like as you get older, like it's even harder to deal with. And then there's also pregnancy congestion, which I don't believe I experienced it with my other 2 children, but with this one I definitely been congested like my entire pregnancy. Like it's not even you feel you're just sick like with the cold, you're just congested for no reason. Like you're TMI, but you're constantly like, or for me, I'm blowing my nose and I'm not even sick. Like it's been like that almost the entire time. Like I have gotten colds during my pregnancy, but even if I'm not sick, I'm still congested a lot. So you might end up snoring more than usual if you don't snore. I know I can't breathe at night, so, and then like getting comfortable, that's a whole other battle at night. So I do use a pregnancy pillow, and then I have another pillow under my belly because I have one of those C-shaped pillows, pregnancy pillows, not like the one that goes on both sides. So I'll just put another pillow under my belly, which helps just not having my belly just like kind of flop down to the side. I lay on my left side typically because it's more comfortable for me, but some people lay on their bellies still. I used to lay on my belly probably into my 2nd trimester because that's the way I lay normally. But laying on my belly, any pressure, anything on my belly, like I said, is very uncomfortable. So I definitely can't do that anymore. And I know that some people do that their entire pregnancy just because it's comfortable for them. I don't see how I can do it, but laying on either side is what I typically do. Yeah, so I would say definitely invest in a pregnancy pillow. I had the pregnancy pillow for my 2nd child, but I never had one during my 1st pregnancy. But I do love having a pregnancy pillow. It's so much nicer to have. It is very convenient, so I would say get one of those. Yeah, invest in one of those. And then they sell like different covers for it that you can get off of Amazon, because my original cover ripped up in the washing machine, so I had to get another one. So I got that one off of Amazon. So later in your pregnancy, you'll also start to have like pelvic pain. The pelvic pain can get kind of intense sometimes, especially as your baby gets bigger and then your baby's always on your bladder, of course. So it just creates pressure on your bladder and it kind of hurts. At least for me, like I'm gonna keep saying, for me it does hurt, but I mean it's not an unbearable pain, but it does hurt. And yeah, it's just something you gotta deal with. I mean, it's just a part of pregnancy. But then you also have this thing called lightning crotch, and it hurts really bad. It's like a sharp shooting pain that you just feel in your pelvis, or like I feel it like in your vagina. Like it's just like a sharp pain. I don't know why it happens. Maybe I can try to look it up and see. But I do remember, I never knew what it was called until this pregnancy, because I've had it before. But yeah, that's pretty common. It doesn't last long. Usually I feel it when the baby's like pushing down, like on my bladder or in my pelvis. Especially because now once your baby is head down, and then they start to, settle in your pelvis more, so it just becomes more uncomfortable. They say once that happens, like once your baby drops down into your pelvis, you'll start to feel like you can breathe better, because they're not pressing up so much against your your lungs. They're giving you more room to breathe. but I don't know. I still feel like I can't breathe that well, so maybe he hasn't dropped down far enough, so we'll see. Also, some things that also help with morning sickness is to eat crackers, saltines, in particular. For some reason, like, other crackers did not taste good to me during my first trimester. Like, I could not stand Ritz crackers. Like, they were just too sweet. More so in my first trimester, like during the whole morning sickness thing, I had an aversion to sweets. Like, I did not like sweets. It just turned me off. I don't know, something about it. Like, I liked salty foods. That was my preference. Not like super salty, but like, it's just, I don't know, salty foods. And I like to eat, like, I don't know, I don't want to say it like that, but meat. But yeah, meat and like salty food. So like steak, burgers, like, that's chicken, that's what I like to eat. But sweets will make me feel even more nauseous, like, especially if something was too sweet. I didn't really eat candy. Even just like some certain granola bars and stuff were too sweet to me, so I couldn't eat those either. I mean, and I've had it both of my previous pregnancies. I also had an aversion to sweets. But I remember specifically in my first pregnancy, I had an aversion to like peppers, like bell peppers and stuff. I don't know why. They were so disgusting to me. I remember eating and I love like Philly cheesesteaks and stuff. I remember eating one and I couldn't eat it. I couldn't finish it. It had, oh my gosh, it made me so disgusted, like, by peppers. And I was so afraid that once, because I love pepper, like bell peppers, so I was afraid that once I wasn't pregnant anymore, like once I had my baby, that I wasn't gonna like them anymore. But I did. And I think I kind of stayed away from them during my last pregnancy, just because I knew I had an aversion the first time. This time I don't remember. I feel like I ate them sometimes, but not like, I wouldn't eat anything like a Philly cheesesteak, just because I don't even want to try it. I don't even want to experience that feeling, you know, disgusted by my food. So I didn't even really try it. But once I get out of that morning sickness, I mean out of that, like, you know, first trimester sickness, then I started to feel better about the aversions that I did have. Like, I messed some candy up now. But yeah, and sweets, I don't feel an aversion to sweets anymore. But I mean, I try to, of course, limit my sweets. And then of course you're taking prenatals. I had always wanted to try the Ritual brand of the prenatals, but I never did buy them. But they're kind of expensive, so. But the vitamins that I do take are whole food vitamins. They're whole food prenatals. I think those are the better, they're organic. I think that's the better option as far as vitamins, is to take something that is a whole food vitamin, so it's not synthetic. Like, it's not something that they just created from nothing. I don't know. Like, it's not something that they just made from something else. I don't know. It's made from whole, like, food. Like, just getting the nutrients from the food, like you would normally get if you ate the food. So that's why I prefer any vitamins that I take. I take whole food vitamins. Also, headaches. So this pregnancy, I got a lot of headaches, and I'm like, I didn't know that was a thing, because I had never experienced it before. But I got a lot of headaches, and I do take magnesium for them. They did prescribe me magnesium, and it actually helps. Speaking of, I need to take that today. But the magnesium does help with the headaches if you take it consistently. I did stop taking it for a while, and then my headaches came right back. So but it took a while for them to come back, because I have been taking it consistently, and once you take medicine consistently, it remains in your body for a while. You know, there's like a therapeutic level that the medicine will stay at in your body because it's used to you having it and it's still in your bloodstream. You know, it's still in your body, so it'll keep you at this level for like a few days or whatever, however long it lasts, but then eventually it'll wear off. So it wore off and my headache started right back. And besides being pregnant, I have migraines, but I don't have migraines like that often, but my headaches were like every day, all day, multiple days in a row. So I just couldn't take it. And you can take Tylenol. Like, Tylenol is not like, I know they start, well, actually Tylenol is supposed to be safe during pregnancy, but I know they start having those lawsuits against Tylenol. So I have taken Tylenol during my pregnancies in the past and during this pregnancy, but once I started taking the magnesium, I didn't really need the Tylenol, and I just try not to take it anyway. Like, it wasn't something I was like taking every day. I mean, the Tylenol did help, but I'd rather endure the pain than risk anything to my baby. So if you do have headaches, make sure you talk to your doctor about some magnesium. Also, I'm not high risk for this pregnancy. I was not high risk for my other 2 pregnancies. This pregnancy, they did tell me that I had a risk factor for preeclampsia, and they wanted me to take aspirin every day. If you do your research. If your doctor recommends things for you, just do your research first. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. I told them I wasn't taking the aspirin. I didn't feel like it was necessary for me. My blood pressure's been perfectly fine my entire pregnancy. You know, I never had any problems with that. So I did my research on the aspirin. Like, it says it can help, like, I guess it's like the whole preventing like blood clots and stuff like that. It's not, aspirin is not like a full-on blood thinner, but it does help in that aspect as far as preeclampsia. But I just feel like I didn't need it. Especially, I feel like it would do more harm to my baby than good, because normally you would not take aspirin while you're pregnant unless prescribed by a doctor. But I just felt, no, I'm not gonna do it. So you don't have to do anything you don't want to do. I told them that I wasn't gonna take it. They try to get you, you know, get different things. You don't have to do it. Just do your research. Make sure you're making the best decision for yourself. And also, I looked it up, and magnesium also helps with preventing seizures for people. I think it was seizures. I want to say it was seizures. I'll double check. But it does help for preeclampsia as well, preventing seizures. So there's that. I was already taking magnesium, so and that's a natural supplement, not like a medication. But yeah, so that's all I have about my pregnancy. If I think of anything else, I'll probably create another video or try to add it to this one. But I hope that you learned something if you're a new mom, or if you're a mom to be, or even if you're pregnant with maybe your 2nd or 3rd child. Maybe you learned something new today too. And it's just good to share our experiences. So if you had any of the same symptoms or any different symptoms, you know, feel free to comment in the comment section, and we can all talk about our experiences together. So hopefully after delivery, I can create a video talking about my delivery experience and essentials for that. Things, you know, to keep in mind about that, especially because this will be my 3rd one. So I feel like I'm kind of prepared for it for the most part. So while I was editing, I noticed that there were some things that I forgot to mention during the video. One of which is baby brain. So if you've never been pregnant before, never heard of baby brain is when you just kind of like have memory problems. For the most part, minor memory gaps, which is why I forgot. It's just like not being able to think clearly and, you know, forgetting things. But that is part of the reason why I kept losing my train of thought during the video, even though I had everything written down. Still forgot to say some things just because I just kept forgetting. So I ended up writing everything down again. So yes, The baby brain is one thing that you most likely will experience. And as far as like skin, mostly for like, at least I'm going to say this because this is who I am. Speaking for women of color, we do experience a lot of like skin darkening, like your belly gets darker, your neck may get darker, scars may become darker. So that does happen, but that's normal and it does go away after your pregnancy. Also, of course, you're going to get stretch marks. Sometimes it's just genetic. You can oil up and butter up your body and you're still going to get stretch marks. It's just genetics sometimes. So for me, I didn't really get as many stretch marks this go around. I feel like because I already had them from my first two. I stayed oiled up this time, but I think it's just because my body has already been through this twice before and it probably has been all stretched out. So I probably got like a few new ones, but nothing like crazy. And then also you'll definitely towards the end of your pregnancy start having swelling in your feet and ankles. It's always good to mention this to your doctor because sometimes it could be a sign of something else, but usually it just comes with the territory of being pregnant. The swelling in your feet and ankles, like to the point where you can't even wear shoes. Wear some shoes, like me wearing sneakers is just a no-go. Trying to put on some, even like my UGG boots has been difficult, like for like the classic Uggs because my ankles are so freaking swollen. But it helps to elevate your legs and feet for the swelling, but you're still gonna get it. So it is what it is. So just talk to your doctor about that if you're not sure. Also, I mentioned being tired and I forgot to mention that like most of the time, at least for me, I'm so tired to the point where I don't feel like doing anything. Like I just don't like getting out of bed. It takes a lot to just even get out the house, especially when you have other kids, having to get other kids ready, and it just takes a lot out of you. It's very draining. Anything takes a lot out of you, at least for me. That's been my experience, but creating a child inside of you is gonna drain your body. And then also the back pain. The back pain, especially in this third trimester, has been agonizing. It's really bad. The bigger your baby gets, the worse the pain gets. Back massages help. I also use a heating pad. My doctor also said a heating pad was okay to use because sometimes, you worry about not being able to use heat because they tell you not to take too hot of showers and you're not allowed to do hot tubs and stuff like that. But I just get worried about using too much heat. But heating pads are okay to use on your back. It does help me if you can get a massage or if you have some type of massager at home that can help. And the way you sleep does affect your back also. So having that backrest pillow or some type of support or at least lumbar support or when you're sleeping, or also to have some type of back support, like if you're at work, I don't know. For me, right now, I'm not doing my normal work stuff. So I'm just in a chair most of the day or all day, really. So being in that chair really isn't comfortable. I try to keep my legs elevated, and then I also have a backrest pillow to help support my back because otherwise it'll just be aching all day. So that's also something to keep in mind. And that's pretty much it. So yeah, thanks for listening and thanks for watching. Anyway, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
When they say she get it from her mama, I'ma say you fucking right. Body rude is unpolite. Don't be in the humble type. Tell me, is you down? Cause I'm tryna go up tonight. Hoes and hoochies left and right. I just wanna live in a fantasy. I think we deserve it right.